What's going on? My name is Brian Buchanan Jr., NYC photographer, videographer, and founder of Mesu Media. I created this channel to promote and document my photography, sharing my creative journey and passion for media arts with you. Today I'll provide background as to how I got my start, where this path is leading me, and the things you can expect to see here. I figured, what better way to do that than a photo walk? So let's grab our gear and hit the streets. I've been interested in photography for as long as I can remember. Both my grandfathers and father actually dabbled in photography. All of them exploring to various degrees, but it's safe to say I've taken it the farthest. In high school, I helped capture moments at school functions here and there, and I've always loved nature, so I've developed quite the archive from over the years. But it wasn't until June of 2024 that I really started investing into this passion. I had just lost my nana and photography was my coping mechanism. It saved me in ways I didn't realize I needed, reacquainting me with a love that I'd forgotten about and a peace that I didn't think still existed. All those factors combined compelled me to record and share my art with others. There's no particular reason I chose this route. The plan was to go to Prospect Park, and Eastern Parkway usually has something going on, so I figured I could get some interesting shots on my way. Levels to this shit, you feel me? To shoot, I have my Sony ZV-E10 Mark I paired with a Tamron 17-70mm f2.8 lens and a variable ND filter, which is basically adjustable sunglasses for your lens, and my iPhone 13 to record. Paired with AirPods and a good playlist, I'm ready to hit the streets. This is fantastic. This channel will be home to photo walks, like this one, where we'll explore the city, interact with the community, find inspiration in the everyday, and identify locations for future projects. It'll also feature BTS footage, showing the setup, execution, and final results from booked client sessions, as well as vlogs as you come with me on vacation, travel for shoots, and to various events and functions. Plus gear reviews and unboxings, showing you my latest equipment and updates as I develop in the field. There will be Q&As, which is my way of paying forward, an opportunity to share the knowledge I've gained through trial and error that could be helpful to other individuals, creators, or even other professionals on their own journey. The same way I started learning and still learn from other creators on the internet. And last but not least, recaps. Coverage of themed events like kickbacks, porn poses, game nights, costume parties, and more, hosted by yours truly. So follow my socials to stay up to date on events put on across the city and eventually across the country, where you can mix, mingle, and make moments last. who knows what else I might be getting into. I'd consider myself somewhat of a child when it comes to taking pictures. A kid in a candy store, if you will. There's no one thing that I'm looking for, so every and anything is fair game. Graffiti, street signs, people, animals, vehicles, storefronts, flowers, whatever piques my interest is subject to capture. Getting into street photography specifically, I wasn't sure if or how I should approach people. After some thought and research, I came to the conclusion I won't. To start, street photography is completely legal. Now, I'm nor a lawyer, nor am I offering this as legal advice for anyone to pick up and run with. But there are limits to a person's right to privacy when outside, so I don't need permission to take or use any images captured while in public. I will follow my own basic code of ethics though. If it's going to be overly obvious that I'm taking a picture or I think the person would be willing to pose, I'll ask. If I'm caught in the act, I'll ask. Sometimes even sharing the photo as well. I try not to catch people if I think I myself wouldn't appreciate being caught in that light. Ultimately, I prefer the candid nature of street photography, so the goal is to capture unassuming bystanders living their everyday life. If anything, it's more common for me to interact with people because they don't want to mess up my shot. More times than not, I'll have someone come to a dead halt and wait for me to get my picture. The irony is, a person stopping their flow is more disruptive to my process than helpful. 9 times out of 10, I'm taking the environment into account. So the flow of pedestrians, how traffic will interrupt my field of view, and just generally protecting my equipment from the hustle and bustle of the city. So when a person performs that courtesy stop, it actually messes with my timing. Sometimes they're even a character in my story, but because they didn't follow the script, I'm forced to rewrite the scene. Honestly, interactions like that contribute to the unpredictable hit or miss nature of street photography that I love. I have to stay alert to capture a moment, which requires flexibility, creativity, and sometimes even critical thinking. The biggest challenge I'd say I face is my own inexperience. I want to get better at identifying composition as opposed to just stumbling upon it. Now hold on, let me explain. I think I take great photos, but I would describe my process of capturing as instinctual rather than intentional, which is why I favor street photography over studio photography. Having full control over the environment is great, and when you have a specific idea and the space to execute it in, the studio is the obvious choice. But I love street photography for the exact opposite. To me, it's more exciting to not know what I'll capture, and it fuels my creativity as those moments influence and inspire studio work. The nice thing about photo walks and street photography is I'm under no obligation to share my product. Nobody would even ever know I took pictures if it wasn't for me sharing them. But going out and shooting is a cheat code to experience. It gives me an opportunity to practice various styles and elements without the shackles of expectation or pressures of opinion. Tracking is another challenge, as it takes some practice shooting subjects in motion and still having the pictures come out well. It's a combination of timing, skill, and knowledge, so it's something that I know I'll develop more over time with consistency. Unless I have inspiration or am practicing a specific principle or technique, I don't usually go out the house with any theme or single subject in mind. I prefer to leave it up to the day to determine what I'll capture. In this case, the inspiration for the day became cyclists after taking what were arguably my favorite pictures from the walk. I'm still working on being a more efficient manual shooter, so I definitely missed some shots. Still developing that muscle memory and getting better acquainted with my equipment. Let me know if you'd be interested in more detailed video going over my process and settings as a manual shooter. I also had moments of tunnel vision, so while transitioning out of that mode of hyperfixation, I wasn't able to get every shot I saw, simply because I realized too late. So I found myself saying, that would have been a nice shot a lot. But it's the nature of the art form and genre. There are also moments I straight up missed due to indecision. Street photography is fast paced, which I do enjoy, but the flip side of that coin is it can also be overstimulating. So sometimes I find myself debating which moment to capture within one scene, and just like that, once the moment is gone, the opportunity is as well. So simply put, every hesitation is a missed shot, and I had quite a few of those. Next time I go out to do street photography, I think I'll camp in spots a little longer. Maybe I'd give myself a better chance at actually recognizing elements, composing scenes, and telling more compelling stories. And as much as I love the freedom of street photography, maybe I'll schedule shooting blocks. This way I spend dedicated periods shooting in specific styles or practicing particular skills and techniques, staying well-rounded as I practice my skills, and it'll lead to a more diverse portfolio. I think photo walks will always be interesting because I never know what I'll encounter. From this walk, I was able to make note of some interesting spots for potential shoots and projects down the line, further solidified my workflow for capturing and delivering content, plus I got to socialize and network as I got my steps in. In fact, during this walk, I had 3 interactions that stood out, each being fulfilling in their own way. None of those interactions were fully featured in this video, but let me know if you think I should make a short video highlighting them. The first was when I was approached by a woman who was a photography enthusiast and was looking for some answers to questions on her own journey. It was satisfying to have an engaging conversation with a stranger about a mutual interest. To top it off, it was validating for self because I was able to answer questions and be of use to a version of me when I knew less and also sought help. Then I had this interaction that you see here, where I stumbled upon this entrepreneur diamond. They were promoting these dope custom framed sunglasses and shades. We chopped it up for a bit, learned about each other's starts, current positions in our respective crafts, even talked a bit about some potential projects. So who knows, we could be seeing some collaborations in the near future.
Just coming and just out doing a photo walk, go take some pictures, starting up YouTube. So I gotta make some more content for myself, promote and everything.
What's your YouTube channel? How's it right now?
Still up. This is gonna be like video 1.
Okay,
Like I'm just getting started out for real. I appreciate it for real.
Yeah, so I'm an eyewear designer, so I design frames. How you doing, Queen? I got a real fan base.
But yeah, for sure. Everything will be up on, like, the card has my Instagram up for now.
I'll check you out.
Yeah, the site will be up soon. YouTube coming soon. Still messing with the editing and stuff, but now yeah, definitely appreciate it. Thanks for being out here. To you too, Queen. 100%.
And all these frames, Queen, you can put your prescriptions.
All right, you take it easy. Have a blessed one.
Yes, you too.
And to round off these interactions with what was probably the most wholesome, shortly after leaving Diamond, I ran into Teddy, an older gentleman and recent retiree who recognized me as a photographer and asked for some help taking a picture so he could send it to his cousin. We talked for at least 30 minutes. He was on the phone with his cousin the entire time, and he just expressed his appreciation for my time, his support of what I was doing, and his interest in sharing his own passion for food, maybe even starting his own YouTube channel. Either way, Teddy says hi, and his genuine enthusiasm meant a lot. In less than an hour, and what would be the final hour of my walk, I was fortunate enough to plant 2 seeds of collaboration, which felt awesome. Overall, I was able to practice my craft, get content for my portfolio, engage with the local community, and support other creators and hobbyists, which is everything I could have asked for from this experience and then some. That's a wrap for this photo walk in episode 1. I appreciate you for coming and hanging out with me. Make sure to let me know, which was your favorite photo? Where should I explore next? Or what should be the focus of my next walk? As a thank you to making it this far, here's a slideshow from across the archives. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. Catch you on the next episode. Yo, because what? Y'all don't understand the struggle it was to get that cut, to get that take. Jesus. Wow. Wow, I'm saying this was, cut it out.